Once there was a bowl of yogurt who dreamed of being Greek. I'm tired of being runny, he said, I feel so frail and weak. And so he got to work one day, lay in his hammock and swung away. And after hours he looked down, saw a puddle on the ground. He jumped, he sang, he danced away. His father said, my son, you are a Greek today. He jumped, he sang, he danced away. His father said, my son, you are a Greek. So now what I'm going to do is as you can see from the picture, the display says yogurt. So then what you do, because it's not done under pressure, you don't have to worry about steam or anything. It's quite hot right now. So I just take, and I've filled my sink, or not filled it, fill it with cold water. And I'm going to bring this back down to about 100 degrees. Okay, over here I've got it in the water. Okay. And then we will. And I've got my starter, from a previous batch, and you know, 1 or 2 cups I throw in to the milk when it cools down. Okay, I brought it down to about 105, not 209. That's the temperature's over here, 105. And that's good. That's usually what I bring it down to. It's fine. It's kind of a little more than lukewarm. But then I take my starter from my previous batch, and I'm just gonna mix it in here. Get it out of here. Okay, so right now we're just making the yogurt. Okay. And then I'll get to the good part where we make it into Greek yogurt, which is like easy peasy. So I've got it all mixed in here. I'm going to take it, put it in my Instant Pot. I'll put the cover on. Remember, it's not under pressure or anything. It's not going to go into steam. Okay, then I'm going to press yogurt. It says boil. We just did that. I'm going to now press adjust. That's 24 hours. I don't want it to go that long. So I'm going to go for like 3 hours. You can go longer. It just depends. It really is a individual thing. So now it's ready. It's going to start counting down. It's not going to bring it up to anything. So actually what you're doing now is you're incubating it. So that's what you want to do to make your yogurt. Then it thickens up. And after that, I want to make this perfectly clear that this is just one way of doing it. After many years of making yogurt and many different ways and many different incubation systems and stuff like that, I'm really glad they came out with this Instant Pot. It makes it a lot easier for me, and timed and everything, temperature control. You can control your temperature yourself, or just let it sit a few days and ignore it. But anyway, and actually I timed how long it took to get the temperature down, and it was only like 15 minutes. So my water must have been nice and cold, and then I also changed it out. So this is just one way, and you're going to like it if you've got an Instant Pot. If you don't, it's so easy to make any other way. Many different ways, and if anybody wants to know some of the old-fashioned ways of doing it, I can help you with that. John, we're going to make some Greek yogurt today.
No way! How are you going to do that?
Well, I'll show you the way.
It's done. It's done. It's 3 hours. Take the top off of this. Take it out, and it's goopy. It's yogurtized. And remove this. Now, what I do next is I'll give it a stir, get that through there, and mix it around. One place I learned about this from a lady that does yogurt anyway, and it helps, I think, to make a smoother texture. So now I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for, well, I'm just going to put it in there now, and I'm going to get to it tomorrow, and then we'll get into the actual making of our Greek yogurt. Okay, all right, the next step. Okay, I already had this in straining from yesterday. I just had a little bit of yogurt left, and I did this. I wanted to show you this. You can keep the whey. That's the whey there. And you can use it as liquid in some things. I'm going to turn this upside down in this bowl, and that will just kind of, the gravity will drop that out of there, and I'll rinse that and get that ready. So what I do is I like some yogurt just to stay, this is already pretty thick itself. Some of it I just like to stay, maybe I make smoothies, maybe, or sometimes the Greek yogurt is a little thick for me. John likes it in the morning with his fruit and stuff in. I'm not particularly liking the thickness of it for that, but or I just won't eat as much as he does. But so I just fill these quart jars with some, and then if I want to later on, I can turn that into the Greek yogurt. And let's see how we're doing here. Anyway, this isn't as, when it's heavier, when there's more in there, but anyway, I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, it's going to be nice and thick, and you can make dips with it. So this comes out pretty good. Once I get it going, you'll see that it'll just come away from the screen. Okay, and I find the easiest way to clean it, if you have a sprayer on your sink, turn it upside down and then just spray it. The pressure from that is going to get the rest of the yogurt out, and turn it the other way and give it a spray in here, and that's it. You really don't have to touch it then. You don't have to try to scrape things off, because the screen is delicate, but I mean, it's not that delicate that you can't actually get a cloth in there. Okay, so then you just put it in the base. Like, this is a Euro cuisine, EURO cuisine. It's going to, if you want to look it up, I really like this. The screen is so fine, and that. So what I do is I just take my already made yogurt, and I fill it up pretty far. Not quite too over the top of the thing, but this is going to go down like to half once that whey is out. And this is already pretty thick yogurt that I did. So, okay, so you got just like maybe an inch showing. You put the top on, you put it in the refrigerator. And I put it in, I'll probably put it in and forget about it. And it's fine, it sits till the next day or whatever. Sometimes the whey, you got to watch it, because the whey will come up and then it'll hit the bottom and it's staying wet. So then you just dump the whey out, or in a jar, keep it, use it for baking bread or whatever. Or actually use it for your smoothies. It's a little on the tart side, but that's okay. You get whey protein in the stores in a powder form, so you might as well use this. So it's going to drip out. I'll see that it doesn't get as high as, and keeps this sitting in the dampness, and then put it back in the fridge. So, if you want to get technical, maybe 8 hours or whatever, but I'll put it in and I'll forget it till the next day, and then I'll just finish filling up my jars with the regular yogurt, and it's really a nice thing to work with.
Okay.
Okay. All right, this is the next day after I put that load of yogurt to strain. And you can tell it's the next day probably because I'm wearing something different. Probably the only reason. The vest maybe? I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to show you how much it went down. Here we are, happy little yogurt maker. And I didn't have to empty the whey. It didn't go. But anyway, remember it was up to the, I was already up to here. And that much whey has strained out. So what I'm going to do, this is probably going to work better this time because it's heavier. All right, I'm going to put this over here. I'm not going to dump it while you're watching because you might go, what a waste. I'd have gallons of it. And maybe I could start selling it. But anyway, that's that from the day before. Oh, look at that. Sometimes, it does it, but then look at that. All right, so it's pretty much out. I take my spatula and I get some of this out, and then it's ready to wash and also ready to eat. Put a little in my glass, my royal yogurt glass. If you want a little bit of sweetener in there, maple syrup, put a cherry on top. Well, it's a dehydrated cherry, but and then you eat it. Oh my goodness. Creamsville. Solo Creamsville. I don't think I've told anybody how I make my yogurt ice cream. I'll have to do that. So anyway, that's how you do it. This is what it looks like when it drops it out. I put it in jars in the refrigerator, and then Johnny gets it for breakfast. I put a little bit of flaxseed oil in it too. Have fun with it. John, we're going to make some Greek yogurt today.
No way. How are you going to do that?
Well, I'll show you the way.
No way.
So that you can drink
Once
it.
there was a
Okay, now
bowl of yogurt who dreamed of being Greek.
John, get out of my way.
Tired of being
No
runny,
way.
he said, I feel so
You worked
frail
hard
and
on this
weak.
video, so now let's get it underway.
So he got to work one day,
What I think's really
lay in
rude.
his hammock,
Never
and
ask
swung
a woman how
away,
much
and
she
after hours
weighs.
he looked down, saw a puddle on the
Which way did he go?
He jumped,
This way.
he sang,
No way.
he danced
Well, John,
away. His
gonna
father
make some Greek
said,
yogurt
my
today."
son, you
No
are
way.
a Greek today.
I'll Wait a minute.
He jumped,
Do it again,
he
do it again,
sang,
do it again. You were supposed to say
What am I supposed to say?
You were
Oh, how are you going to
Yeah, I
do
know,
that?
and I messed
You
up.
do it. How are you going to do that?
I'll show you the way. No, I think we better have a different clip. These can be outtakes.